Hey everybody, Steve Prziborowski here. Welcome to episode 3 of How to Excel at Fire Department Promotional Examinations. Episode 3 is going to discuss 12 steps for success during your next Fire Department Promotional Examination. This will be part 1. We'll cover the first 6 or so, and then the next episode we'll cover the next 6. So let's get going. All right, for those of you that are preparing for promotion or just want to be the best that you can be in the fire service, my website, code3firetraining.com, has a lot of free stuff on it if you take the time to visit the free stuff link. I've been very fortunate to have helped countless people around the country get promoted or just, again, be the best they can be based on the information on my website. I mean, it's not everything and anything that you need, but it's definitely a lot of great resources for you to use and share with others that you're mentoring and assisting in their pursuits as well. So please check that information out, and my contact information is on there as well if I can ever be of assistance. So these webinars are based on one of the 3 books I've had published. The other 2 are future firefighter books that are available on our website. This is more promotional preparation. This book was published a few years ago, and I'm also working on a 4th book right now, 101 Tips to Prepare You for Your Next Promotional Examination. And that'll be available hopefully late 2020, if not early 2021, from a major publisher. So very excited about that next 4th book coming out. But for right now, let's focus on what we have to talk about now, getting you ready for your next promotional exam. So in the previous episodes, number 1 and 2, we discussed 10 reasons fire service professionals do not pass or do not score as high as they want on a promotional examination. So now let's go from the negative to the positive. So it's time to discuss 12 different steps or things that you can do or you can take to ensure success. Now, I can't guarantee success because you got to step up to the plate and, connect. You got to connect with the ball when it's thrown to you, and you got to go for the win. But you know what? I'm going to try my best to give you some suggestions and hopefully encourage you to do some things that you maybe didn't think of already. So let's get going. So 12 steps for success. Number 1, you got to take the process seriously. What I mean by that is when you decide to go for it and you go, you know what, I'm going to put my application in, submit my resume or whatever else they require, take it seriously. Don't waste the department's time. Don't waste your coworkers' time. Don't waste your family's time. Don't waste your own time. Take the damn thing seriously. I know a lot of people say, well, I'm just going to take the test to see what happens just so I can, get a flavor for it. I'm not ready. I still want to be a firefighter for another year, but then at least I'll have an idea of what to expect for the next test. Well, you know what? Who knows if and when the next test will arrive? And you know what? In all honesty, I don't know if anyone is ever ready for promotion. I mean, I hope you're ready, but I mean, a lot of people say, oh, I don't know if I'm ready yet, or you know what? Take the darn test and take it seriously. Prepare for the position, and you know what? It may happen. May not be at the right time of your life, but you know what? How many things actually do come on the time schedule or time frame that we'd all like? Not everything. So hell, who would have thought right now, 2020, the year we're in as I'm taping this, is in the middle of a pandemic? I mean, I would never have imagined that in a million years. Well, it is, so we have to deal with it. So take it seriously, and you know what? Do the best you can. Hey, what's the worst that could happen? They give you the badge, or you don't get promoted and you stay in your current rank. But take the process seriously. Get involved. And when I say get involved, I mean get involved in your department, get involved in your union local or your association, get involved in your community. Get involved. Why? Number 1, it's the right thing to do. Number 2, it's also something to put in your resume. And also, it's something that is something all of us should be doing in some form or fashion. Because if you think about what a fire chief is looking for when it comes to promoting someone, and I'll talk about that in future episodes, the fire chief, when they're making that tough, critical decision on whether to promote someone or hire someone, they're also looking for return on investment. Are you just going to be a slot filler that comes in 8 to 8 out the gate, like some are that are already retired in place? We all have them in all of our departments, those that are retired in place that get promoted, and it's like they're just as lazy, maybe if not worse, as they were when they were the rank below. And it's like, oh God, we don't need that. But it happens. I mean, it happens in every department. But get involved, show your commitment, show your desire and your passion, your enthusiasm for your organization or the one you're applying for if it's another organization. But get involved. Also, network. It is easier than ever to network with others, obviously with social media, with the internet, and with people more accessible in today's world. So network with others, find your mentors. Some of the best thing I've done, and most successful people have done is find mentors, not just within your department, but outside of your department. And here's the thing, back to number 2, if you're getting involved, you're meeting a lot of other people, not just in your own department of different ranks, but potentially in other departments and other lines of work that can be of assistance to you. So find different mentors, because everyone can bring something to the table. And on the opposite end, mentor others. Even if you're just a firefighter, please don't take it that way. You're never just anything. I know people, well, I'm just a firefighter. Who could I mentor? A junior firefighter. Well, I've only been on the job 2.5 years. I'm not a senior firefighter. Okay, you've been on the job 2.5 years. I bet you have seniority over some that were hired in the last year or two. You know what? You're a senior firefighter to them. So mentor others. You know, maybe it's something it's not necessarily stuff you put on your resume, like the getting involved stuff, but it's stuff that demonstrates that you can demonstrates to the department that you're headed in the right direction. Because a supervisor is a manager, is a leader typically in an organization, someone that needs to represent the organization and continuously help, build our bench strength. So find the time to do those things that can benefit you. Stay out of trouble. I mean, off duty definitely, but even on duty. And I mean, not a day goes by, it seems like, that someone's getting in trouble in some line of work. It's not just the fire department, government, private industries, professional sports, collegiate sports. You know what? Just try your best to stay out of trouble, just because, again, it may distract the fire chief from the true you, or it may actually show the fire chief the true you. But anyway, try to stay out of trouble, off duty and on duty, and just try to stay on the right track. Because again, the fire chief is hopefully looking for people that are going to represent the department well in their new position, not troublemakers. Another item, train and educate yourself. And I'm leaving this open-ended and blank for a reason, because there is no one way to train and educate yourself, because each of us are different and each of our situations and our departments are different. But my point is that I always share time and time again, don't just prepare for the test, prepare for the position. So let's say you are a firefighter preparing to be a captain. So you want to go from firefighter to the jump of company officer now. Well, instead of taking firefighter classes, which you should have taken already, you should be taking management classes, leadership classes, supervisor classes, things like that. Because when we have a captain's test, and one of the questions we've asked in the past to our captains, firefighters testing for captain, is, so when you get promoted to captain, what are some classes you want to take just in the next 3 years? And it's interesting because we just want to see where they're coming from. There's no wrong answer, but a lot of firefighters that don't think big picture, oh, when I become a captain, I want to take my rescue systems 1 class. I want to take my low angle rescue class. I want to take my hazardous materials technician class. I want to take my truck operator class. And you wish you could say, okay, those are all things you should be doing now as a firefighter. When you become a company officer, remember, you are a supervisor, manager, leader now. You should be taking supervisor management classes, leadership classes, officer development classes. You should be taking bigger picture classes now. Yeah, you need to know those skills because you're managing firefighters that are doing those tasks, and you may be assisting them depending on the size of your crew and the need, but you got to prepare for the position. And that means sometimes going above what your comfort zone is. So if you want to be a supervisor, for example, those are things you should be focusing yourself on, because chances are your department's not going to provide a lot of training once you get promoted. I mean, I don't know of a department across the country that does an awesome, outstanding job of, hey, here's your promotion, here's the badge, and then giving you all this great training, because budgets usually don't allow it. Time doesn't allow it. There's a lot of reasons that don't allow it. I mean, we were fortunate, our last captain's test, we had a captain's test last December. 10 people made the captain's list, if I remember correctly. Within a month, we timed it to have a 2-week captain's academy. So all 10 of those captains that made the list, we gave them and paid for them to be in a 2-week captain's academy. Now, it wasn't perfect. There's a lot of good lessons learned we'll use for the next one next year, but it was something, and it's better than nothing. And we got a lot of good feedback, and obviously some good feedback on what to do better. I mean, it's not everything. In 80 hours, we're not going to cover everything you need to know as a new captain, but you know what? It definitely doesn't hurt. So hopefully your department does something, but again, don't expect it. And you know what? Don't be bitter about your department. I hear it all the time. Well, my department doesn't do squat, so screw them. That's a crappy attitude, number one, because you're in charge of your own career development. You're not them. You're in charge of your destiny, not them. You're in charge of your journey, not them. Whatever they do or don't do is real. I mean, yeah, it's nice if they do provide some things, but if they don't provide some training, then you better take the time to do it. If nothing else, for your crew, because your future crew will expect you to be the best you can be. And more importantly, the public. The public doesn't give a crap. When they call 911 for us to show up, they don't want a bunch of half-assed people that come out there and say, well, my department never trained me how to mitigate this thing. Because what do you think the answer is going to be? Well, then get the heck out of here then. I'm going to, let's defund the fire department. We don't need firefighters if you're not going to solve our problem. I mean, I know it sounds drastic, but that's not typically that's not our mantra. We're usually very can-do, but you know what? Don't blame your department. Don't blame your chief. You got to take responsibility for yourself. So take the time to realize what that next position is that you want and what that job entails. So you can start taking classes, getting mentored, reading things, experiencing things, whatever it is, getting involved. So take the time to do that. And then 6, learn as much as you can. Not about your current job. You should have already done that while you're in the current job. I'm talking about the one you aspire to. So if you're a firefighter testing for captain, company officer, you better learn as much as you can about that position you aspire to. And again, how do you do that? Sort of by doing a lot of things I've suggested, by talking to those that are already in the position, getting their feedback, getting their advice, picking their brains, networking with them, getting mentored by them, reading things, going to classes. I mean, getting involved with committees, getting involved with assignments, getting involved with organizations. There's just so many things that are out there right now that one can do to learn as much as you can about that position that you aspire to. So in the next episode, number 4, we're going to discuss the next 6 steps for success during your next promotional examination. So as always, thank you very much for the gift of your time. Please feel free to reach out to me if I can ever be of assistance to you in your pursuit of the badge, or just being the best that you can be, or just someone that you want to talk to. So, hey, have a great day, be safe, and we'll see you soon.